Hey guys, I have another postnatal workout for you. If you're also new to Pilates or just want to work on activating the abdominals using breath work, this is also a great workout. We don't need any props today, so let's get started. So we're going to lay down on our back. Arms are going to be long by your side, feet hip distance apart. We're just going to do a few pelvic tilts or hip rolls just to get started. You're going to take an inhale and exhale, tuck the pelvis under, press that lower back into the mat and exhale deeply. And then slowly release back to a neutral spine. Take an inhale and exhale, press the lower back down into the mat, tuck the pelvis under and deep exhale. As you exhale, think about pulling the belly button in towards the spine and feel the ribs wrapping together. And then slowly release back to neutral, that little space between your lower back and the mat. One more here, inhale, exhale, tugging the pelvis under, scooping those abs in, feel those ribs, pull in towards the belly button, and then release back to neutral. We're gonna keep a flat back and go into some bridges. So feet hip distance apart, relax the neck and shoulders, take an inhale and exhale. Lift up, pressing through those heels, squeezing those glutes, abs pulled in. Only lift as high as you can without arching the back. And then slowly with a flat back, drop down. Slow and controlled, think about squeezing the glutes even as you lower. Inhale, exhale, flat back, lift straight up through the pelvic bone. Press through those heels, squeeze the hamstrings and glutes. Keep holding. Inhale down, flat back. As you lower, I want you to still try to squeeze the glutes and squeeze the hamstrings even as you're lowering down. Exhale, press straight up. Make sure the knees stay hip distance apart. Don't let them flare out to the side. So you want to activate the inner thighs a little bit more. And flat back, lower, slow. Two more here, then we're going to add on. Press through those heels, lift straight up. If you prefer to rounding up through the spine instead of doing a flat back, that totally works. And then slowly roll, keep squeezing the butt together as you lower all the way down. Last one, we're going to lift all the way up. When you get to the top, I just want you to open the legs about 2 inches a little bit wider. And then back to center. Open the legs out a little bit, and then back to center. So you're just flaring the legs out a few inches and in a few inches. So trying to work the outer glutes a little bit more. It's a very small motion, so all 10 toes should still be flat on the mat and your heels. 4 more. 3. Open the legs, close. 2. Bring the legs back to hip distance apart, and then flat back, roll down. We're gonna add the 2 together. So exhale, press through the heels, lift up, pressing through the heels, hold at the top. You're gonna open the legs a few inches wider, bring the legs back to hip distance apart, and then drop your bottom all the way down slow. Exhale, press up. Open the legs 2 inches wider, back to center. Squeeze the butt as you lower down. Exhale, lift up. Keep that pelvis tucked, belly button in, open the legs 2 inches wider. Back to hip distance. Slowly drop the bottom. 3 more here. Press straight up. Open the leg 2 inches, close the legs, flat back, lower, squeeze the glutes, squeeze those hamstrings really slow. Last one here, press straight up. Open the legs 2 inches, don't let the hips drop. Bring it back to center. Now we're gonna round down through the spine. So upper back, middle back, lower back, round all the way down. Keep the feet flat. I just want you to rock the legs side to side. Keep the shoulder blades on the mat so you're feeling a stretch in the back and the hips. One more time each way. Now bring the legs back to center. We're gonna bring the legs up into tabletop, so imprint that spine first. Let's bring that right leg up, left leg up, and hold it. Arms long by your side, just take an inhale, and exhale. Try to pull the belly button into the spine a little deeper, pulling those abs in. Inhale, and exhale, press that back down into the floor as deeply as you can. If you want to add on, you're going to take your hands, press them, put the hands in front of the quads, so just below the knees. You're going to take an inhale and exhale, just press the hands slightly in towards the quads and then bring those hands in towards the palms. If this is too intense, then go back to no hands or don't press as hard. We're just isometrically working those abs. Hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it for a second. One more time. Exhale. Press those hands into the quads, knees into the palms, pressing that lower back down into the floor. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring one foot down, other foot down, and release. You're gonna reach, let's reach our left hand up to the ceiling. Right leg is gonna come into tabletop. This is a modified version of dead bug, so just to get warmed up. So you're gonna take an inhale, exhale, reach the left arm overhead, right leg out towards the diagonal, pressing that lower back down into the floor, and exhale back to center. Inhale, reach it long overhead, reach in opposition, pressing that back down into the floor, exhale back to center. You can always reach that leg a little bit higher up to the ceiling if you feel any tension in the back or your abdominals don't feel strong enough yet. Inhale out and exhale back to center. Inhale, reach long in opposition, pressing that back down into the floor. Exhale, back to center. Reach long. Exhale, scoop that belly button in towards that spine as we bring the knee and hand towards each other. Reach long. Exhale, pull in. Let's do 3 more. And 2. Last one. And release. Right foot down. Right hand up to the ceiling. Left leg in tabletop. Imprint that spine so that lower back is pressed against the mat. You're gonna reach that right long overhead. Left leg goes out towards a slight diagonal. You can always reach it up higher. And exhale, bend that knee and bring the arm back up. So reach everything out, pressing that back down into the mat. Exhale, back to center. Make the movement slow and control. And concentrate on pulling the belly button in towards the spine as the knee and hand come back. Inhale long. Exhale. Back to center. Inhale, reach. And exhale. Inhale. Press that back down into the mat and exhale back to center. Reach long, 3 more. And exhale. And 2. Exhale. Last one. And exhale all the way back to center and bring that left foot down. Now we're gonna add on a little bit. So imprint that spine, press that lower back down into the mat. Bring that right leg into tabletop and then slowly bring that left leg. We're gonna reach the arms up to the ceiling. Make sure that back is pressed into the floor. We're only gonna do the arms. So you're gonna take that right arm, reach it overhead, pressing that back down into the floor, and exhale, bring that back arm back up to the ceiling. Now left arm, reach it overhead, stabilize through that core, and exhale, back to center. Inhale, right arm over, and exhale, back to center. As you reach that arm overhead, make sure the ribs don't flare. You're still pressing the back down into the floor. Left arm overhead, and exhale. One more each way. Inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale over, and exhale all the way up. Just bring your knees into your chest for a second. Just take a little breather, deep squeeze in, and exhale. Bring those legs back up to tabletop, imprinting that spine. You're gonna reach the arms back up to the ceiling. So now we're just gonna do the legs. You're just gonna reach the leg, one leg out long. It can reach up to the ceiling if you want, and then bend it back in. Reach the other leg out, and bend it back in. If having your hands up to the ceiling is too intense, put your hands down by the side. So just focus on reaching that leg up and down. So if you're feeling more comfortable, you can reach the leg a little bit more towards the diagonal, but do what feels good for you where your back is staying pressed against the floor. Reach and in. Let's do one more each side. And last one. And release. Bring one foot down and other foot down. Just let the legs open to the side. Just do a little butterfly. Do a little rock with those hips. Just feel the hips open. Kind of a release in the back as well as the hip joint and inner thighs. And exhale. Bring those legs back up. We have one more thing here in tabletop. So arms long by your side. Tuck the pelvis under. Press that back down into the mat. One leg up. Other leg up. Now we're going to do alternating toe taps. So take an inhale. Exhale, you're going to press that toe down towards the floor and then lift it back up. So I'm going to inhale down and exhale back up. So just do short range of motion if you can. If you can fully tap the floor, that's great. If your abs aren't strong enough yet, then that's fine. Just go a very short distance, focusing on pressing that back down into the floor. Exhale on the way up. You can also add a pillow underneath your head, which will give you a slight elevation of the neck, which might feel good on the abdominals in the back. Small toe tap and lift. Inhale, exhale, scoop those abs in. Let's do 4 more. Inhale down, exhale lift, and 3. Last 2. Last 1. One foot down, other foot down, relax. Let's roll on up. We're gonna go into some side planks. So we're gonna come down to your forearm, do some modified side planks. So I'm gonna stack my knees on top of each other. If you feel better reaching that top leg out long, you can do that variation. I'll give you a few different options. So bend that elbow, make sure you're pressing out of the shoulder joint. I'm gonna take my left hand, place it down onto the mat, and you're just gonna press with that shoulder, forearm, and that left hand, lift up out of that right side. If you can, release that left hand and pull up onto your hip. Think about pulling up through that right oblique, squeezing it, pressing out of the shoulder. Keep that head neutral, hold it for 5. Suck the belly button in towards that spine, 4, 3, 2, slowly drop that hip down. If you don't need the hand to help assist, keep that hand on the side, and exhale, lift up, pressing out of that right shoulder, lengthening that neck, squeezing that right oblique, so almost creating a little rainbow shape underneath, and slowly back down. If you keep going, otherwise if you want to add, or if you want to come up to your hands and do this version, if your shoulder doesn't feel good on your shoulder, to do it that way. Hold it for 5, keep lifting up through that right oblique. 4, 3, 2, and lower down slow. Keep going, lifting up. Squeeze that right oblique. Hold it 5, pull the belly button in toward that spine. 4, 3, 2, lower down. I'm gonna go back to my forearm for a few more. Take an inhale and exhale, press up. Keep trying to squeeze that right side underneath. 3, 2, 1. Lower down, last one here. Press up out of that rib, out of the shoulder. Squeeze. 4, 3, 2. Now you're gonna go down an inch and up an inch. Very slow, very controlled. Think about dropping that right hip an inch and lifting that left hip up. Let's just do 5 more. Head neutral. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll on down. I'm gonna lay down on that side, place my hand behind the head. If you wanna just lay fully down, that's fine. We're just gonna go into a little glute work. So you're gonna keep those heels squeezed together. Try to lift up out of that right bottom rib so it's not sinking into the mat. We're gonna do a few clams. So lift that leg up to the ceiling. Try to squeeze that outer glute and then lower it down. Lift up. You only want to lift as high as you can without dropping that hip back or rolling. And then lower. Squeezing those heels together, the feet will come apart. And resist it down slow. Each time you lift up, I want you to hold that squeeze for at least 3 seconds. 2, 1, and down. Lift up, hold. So you're working the outer glute. And down. Lift up, squeeze. 3, 2, 1, and down. If you also have a yoga block, you can put a yoga block down or a pillow and lay down on that. That feels more comfortable. We're gonna do 3 more clams here. Go ahead, lift up and squeeze for 2. Last one, hold it up there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Now we're gonna lift the knee and ankle at the same height. So little fire hydrants. So lift up, hold that squeeze again. Only lift as high as you can without letting the hips roll back. And then bring it all the way down. So you want that knee and ankle to lift at the same level. Try not to have the knee lift higher than the ankle or the ankle lift higher than the knee. Lift up, hold that squeeze. Focus on squeezing that outer glute at the top. Hold it for 2 seconds. And then down slow. Lift up, squeeze. The slower you do glutes and actually think about squeezing that outer glute, the more you'll feel them working. Lift up, hold it. 3, 2, 1. Down slow. Lift up and hold. 3, 2, 1. And lower. Let's do 4 more here. Squeeze. 3, 2, 1. And down. Last one. Hold it up there. 3, 2, 1. And lower down. Now we're going to draw little circles. So keeping that 90-degree bend at the knee, you're going to bring the knee in up towards your chest. Lift it up towards that ceiling. Back a little bit and around. So it's not too big of a circle. You're not dropping again. Don't drop that hip back. You're just bringing that knee in, up, a little bit slightly back and around. Squeezing that outer glute. Three more in this way. And 2. Last one. Reverse directions with that circle. So bring the leg back slightly, circling up towards the ceiling and around. Stabilizing the pelvis and hips so they're not moving forward and back or rotating. Four more here. And 3, 2, last one. Last thing here, you take a little breather. You're gonna lift that knee up hip height. You're just gonna press it all the way out long towards the opposite direction. Squeeze that glute and then bend that knee back in towards the 90 degrees. Press all the way out, squeeze, and in. So it's a little kick or a little press down, almost like you're doing step ups, but you're laying on your side. Press out, squeeze that glute, flex that heel, and pull it in. Press out, squeeze, and in. 5 more. Reach long in opposition. Press down, 4. Make sure you get that full squeeze of the butt as you press out, 3. Press and reach for 2. And 1, release. Just roll over to your back, cross that left leg over the right, grab behind that right hamstring and pull it in for a little glute stretch in that left leg. Breathe, you can do a little rock side to side if that feels okay. Exhale, try to bring that right knee in deeper. Feeling a deeper stretch in that left leg. And release. We're gonna roll on up and switch over to the left side for our side planks first. So left forearm down, I'm gonna stack my knees tall, pressing up out of that shoulder. You can use that right hand to help press you up if you need. So pressing, lifting up out of that left hip. You can always keep that left hand down if that feels more comfortable. Otherwise, lift it up and hold. 5, 4, squeeze that left side. 3, 2, 1, slowly drop down. If you need that hand, you can assist. Otherwise, press back up, squeeze that left oblique, head neutral, pull the belly button into the spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower, slow. Again, you can always go up to that hand if it's getting too uncomfortable on the shoulder. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, lower, slow. A few more here. Pressing up out of that hip. Think about squeezing that left side underneath, creating a little arc. 3, 2, 1, and lower. Last one here. Press up out of that hip and hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it there. You're gonna just drop the hip down a little bit, an inch, and lift up. Again, you can use that right hand if you need to help stabilize you or if you're feeling too much tension in that shoulder. Tiny lifts. You have 5, 4, lifting that right hip up towards the ceiling. 3, 2, and 1. Release it down. Lay all the way down on your side. Now laying on that left side, lifting up through that left rib. Stack the legs. Go into clams, heels together. The toes are going to come apart as you lift that leg up to the ceiling. And then lower, slow. I have tight hips, so I can't lift as high as some people in clam position. So again, only lift as high as you can without rolling back. It doesn't have to be super high, you just want to feel that outer glute squeeze. And lower. Lift up. And release. Squeezing that glute at the top. And lift. Let's do 3 more here. Squeezing the outer glute at the top. Hold it. Down. Last 2. Last one. Hold that squeeze. 3. Hold it. 2. 1. Lower it down. Now we're going to lift the whole leg up. So ankle and knee lift at the same height. And then back down. So keep that 90-degree bend of that leg. Hold it at the top for a second or 2, and then lower it slow. Lift up, hold it, actively feel that outer glute squeeze, hold, 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 and down slow. Keep thinking about lifting up through that left side so it's not sinking down into the floor. You have your head up, you will feel it. I mean, it'll like graze the floor, but if you're laying down fully, then lift up through that left side. Let's do 5 more here. Control it down. Last 4. Pull those abs in so you're stabilizing the core as well as the pelvis. 3. Last 2. And 1. We're gonna go into circle, so bring that knee in towards your chest, circle in, up and around. Remember not to let the hips drop back. Keeping that 90-degree bend of the knees. So the only thing that is really moving is that knee is lifting up and around. You're just rotating around the hip joint. Squeezing that glute. You can always take a little breather anytime. Last 3. 2. 1. Reverse directions with that circle. Press the leg back, up and around. Make it slow and controlled. Last 5 here. Last one. Bring it down. Take a little breather. You can pound it out if you need. Last thing, bring that knee up hip height. Just press that heel all the way up long, reaching towards the other end of the room, squeezing that butt, and then pull it in, bending that knee 90 degrees. Press it out. As you bend the leg in, don't let that heel go towards your butt. Keep a nice parallel line between the ankle and the knee. Exhale as you press out, pressing through that heel. Last 4. Press, reach. And 3. For 2. Last one. Hold it and release. Roll over to your back. Cross that right leg over the left. Grab underneath that left hamstring. And exhale. Pull it in for a stretch. Feeling a stretch in that right glute. Breathe. Each time you exhale, try to bring that left knee in closer so you feel a deeper stretch in that right glute. One more inhale and exhale. We're gonna roll all the way up. Cross the feet, so sitting cross-legged. I'm gonna reach that right hand out to the side. We're gonna do a few stretches. Right hand out to the side, left arm up to the ceiling. You're gonna reach over towards the right side of the body. Reach as far as you can without letting that hip bone, that left hip, sink up. If you can drop deeper into that stretch, that's good, but just remember, don't let that left hip bone or sit bone hike up. Breathing into the stretch, feeling stretched on the left side of the body. One more inhale and deep exhale. Slowly come all the way up. Place that left hand on the floor, right arm up towards the ceiling. And reach it up and over towards the left side of the body. That left hand can come out further or bend that arm. If you want a deeper stretch, just make sure you don't let that right sit bone hike up. Inhale and exhale. Feeling a deep stretch down the right side of the body. Inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale and deep exhale. Come all the way up. We're gonna take that left hand, put it on that right knee, reach back behind you, just do a little spine rotation, rotating towards the right side. Let that head rotate with it, looking towards the back of the room if you can. And exhale. Slowly come back to center. Take that right hand, put it on top of that left knee. Reach back behind you. Use that right hand to press against that left knee slightly. Rotating that spine, sitting up tall. Exhaling. Getting deeper in that stretch each time you exhale. Take an inhale and exhale a little deeper. Slowly come back to center. Let's place the bottoms of your feet together so you're in a little butterfly position. Just lean that chest forward slightly and use the elbows to press down on the calves or on the knees or quads to get a little deeper, feeling those hips open. One more time, inhale and deep exhale. We're just gonna reach those legs out long to the side. If you can't do a big straddle split, then just make it a little smaller. We're just gonna reach down towards, take that right hand, reach down towards that left toe. Lean that chest forward, try to flex the toes up towards the ceiling. And exhale, breathe. Just feel a stretch down the left calf and hamstring. Sit up tall and switch to the other side. Reach that left hand towards that left toe. If it can't go as far, that's fine. Just flex the toes up towards the ceiling and try to lean forward into that right leg, feeling a stretch down the right hamstring and right calf. And roll on up. And just do a few shoulder rolls back, opening up the chest and shoulders, relaxing the neck. Last one. And we are all done. I hope you guys had a great workout. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.